welcome. This is the Market Wrap. I'm Agam Vakil. Well, it's been a quiet start to the trading week, considering the NSEs really haven't seen too much of a spurt. And while we did see the Nifty largely trade in the red for a long part of today's trading day, we eventually saw the Nifty close in the green, up by around 0.2%, little less than actually 0.1% to be precise. Have some gains in BPCL, Axis Bank, Adani Ports, and HDFC perhaps, along with Maruti Suzuki. These are the two heavyweights which have kept the indices in check, along with Reliance Industries, which is also advanced by around 1%. But not too much to go for otherwise. We have some weakness in some of the IT names. Cipla and L&T, along with Z Entertainment, also declining, but fairly evenly poised. But that is not the case when it comes to the broader markets. Two gainers for three losers. VF, Vabag, along with Bliss, GVS, Pharma, and EID Parry advancing and seeing some sort of momentum along with Dish TV India. But besides that, we really haven't seen too much in terms of gainers. On the other hand, Coffee Day Enterprises drops by as much as 9%. We're going to talk about Coffee Day as well in just a bit. PNB Housing Finance looking at considerable declines. We have a whole host of AMCs out there which really didn't do very well, especially after we got the AMC data, that is the mutual fund data. We talk about that as well. Aditya Birla Capital, something like an HDFC, AMC for that matter, all declining in trade. But let me get in our markets editor Neeraj Shah for his thoughts. Neeraj, perhaps the most important data which came in the last 1 hour of trade was the lack of retail participation. What else are you making of today's move?
Yeah, largely that. I mean, the AMFI data was pretty interesting from a mutual fund industry perspective. But otherwise, I mean, from markets perspective, you summed it up. Nothing kind of a day. The only positive that I would take it is that the last 2 days fall gotten arrested a little bit, which was probably a good sign, because the last 2 days we've had a slightly precipitous fall as well. So maybe a bit of an arrest. And I don't know, Agam, but Nifty IT was giving those telltale signs of cooling off a bit, right? Because it was hitting points of resistances. So whether or not those stocks have the pressure to correct further over the course of the next couple of days remains to be seen. If that doesn't happen, then that selling goes out of the way. But the AMFI data does raise more questions about the sustainability of flows and whether investor behavior is truly changed, because all through the last 18-24 months we've been celebrating the fact that investors are putting in money and continue to put in money. That seems to be changing a bit, whether induced by middlemen or otherwise. And I think that's a telling part. We'll probably do more on this as well. But I think the AMFI data was a bit of a disappointment. Let's see what the flows look like as well during the course of the next few days and weeks from the FI community as well, because till the 15th of November, that's probably the time when you expect the flows to come in. Then most of them go on holiday as well. So let's see how it goes. Right.
Well, fair enough, Neeraj. Thanks so much for that perspective there. So, that's as far as your broader markets are concerned. But I do want to draw your attention to one stock, and that's Coffee Day Enterprises here. It's landed with losses of around 9%. And I'm going to get in Bloomberg's PR Sanjay to talk to us about what's happening here. Sanjay, thanks for joining in. What's going on? There seems to be a bit of a stall up here.
Yeah, there's a glitch in the deal. The IT park, technology park deal is now stuck because Blackstone was supposed to buy that technology park, tech park. But now one of the creditors, S Bank, has demanded that they need certain. They refused to give NOC because they want certain assurance from the group company, which was CCD Group. So they want around total assurance for 1,500 crore. In this case, this is only 100 crore worth of thing is stuck. So a deal which is size of 2,600, 700 crore stuck for just 100 crore deal. But this is a temporary glitch. What we are picking up from the market, the bankers will sit and iron out the issues, and Blackstone ultimately will get an NOC from S Bank to get this deal going. So we are waiting and watching how this deal is taking shape.
But for now, we're waiting for the updates on with respect to that 100 crores, which is stuck right now. And after that, we get a better clarity on the whole deal.
So the ball is in the court of lender, S Bank. So S Bank will seek for certain assurance from the group company, not just this technology unit, but across other businesses as well. So either Blackstone will they will up their game and ask that for this one. We'll have to wait and watch how things evolve.
All right, Sanjay, thank you so much for joining us and getting us that update on Coffee Day Enterprises. Interesting moves out there. From there on, let's move on to the auto sector, and we have Maruti Suzuki, which is in focus here. Why? Because for the month gone by, the production number has seen an uptick of just it's maybe of just 4%, but well, in the reason and the fact that this is important is because that it's seen an uptick of production for the first time in 9 months, and that means that may very well we may very well see some sort of an uptick in production in perhaps some of the other companies too. Of course, Maruti Suzuki remains the most important one here because it is the largest passenger vehicles player in India, and this uptick in production number again has to be kept in context, and we must remember that this is largely on a low base. So, well, you know, a little bit of an uptick is always possible, but the real question is, can we start seeing a trend? Is this time for the auto sector to turn a corner? These are some of the questions that will only be answered through the course of the next few months. For now, it's a positive, and that's the reason why you've seen Maruti Suzuki gain as much as 1.8% in today's day of trade. We'll be watching out for that. And on that note, let me get in Sharad Dubey to talk to us about two other stocks which are also in focus. Of course, one of them being Jagran Prakashan, seeing an interesting move there. Sharad.
Yeah. So Agam, the first one I'll speak is Sun Pharma Advanced Issues. The stock was up more than 5% today. It's in the highest levels in almost a month. This is based on the news that Abraxis Biosciences has dismissed a patent infringement complaint filed against the company. So basically, this is regarding the company's new drug application for PICS. So basically, after this complaint coming back, the company will try to inform the US FDA to vacate the 30-month ban which is there on the product. Now, one interesting thing we pulled out is the technical chart. Itself, that today's spike, you know, you can see it went above the 200-day moving average, this yellow line which you can see itself, and ending the day at almost at 162.5 rupees per share, you can see. So this was the thing, and if you can just zoom it, we can see this as well, you know, closing the day at almost a 5% up. Up next, as Agam had pointed out, is Jagran Prakashan. This beaten down print stock was down almost 50% on a year-to-date basis, and today itself the stock fell almost 6%, its highest, biggest intraday loss, almost in 4 months. So basically, the board has approved the buyback of shares. That's almost 4.55% stake at roughly rupees 75 per share. That's a good amount of premium looking at that. And also the buyback will be almost for 101.25 crore shares. With this, the promoters' stake will increase from 61.62% to 64.56%. Now, historically speaking, 3 stock buybacks have already happened, one in 2013, 2017 and 2018. So this will be the 4th buyback, of the company itself. And now if we can pull up the HDFC function, so then we'll see how the company's performance has been there, and we can see the insider transactions, how it has impacted. Now over the year, if you see from 2018 till 2019, there has been a very downward movement and a lot of buying we have seen from the insider traders, especially in the second half of 2019. Now if you can see this dip coming in, this is because of lesser revenues coming in from ad prices, as well as muted growth was seen during the elections as well. Despite the in cooling off of raw material prices, which is the wholesale newsprint prices, still the stock fell. So all the print media stocks are in red, and this year itself it hasn't been that good. So this is something which we pulled out from our Bloomberg terminal itself. These 2 stocks are buzzing in the space today, Agam.
Right, Sharad, thanks so much for getting us those details on those 2 stocks. And well, we're going to have to wait and watch for more data, that as Neeraj has already pointed out. But we're also expecting a little bit of consolidation, considering we are heading to a holiday period. On that note, it's a wrap on the markets, but there's lots more lined up. Stay tuned to BloombergQuint.